It's a pleasure to welcome everyone to the introduction to Metaport. I think today is actually our second or third webinar, which you have done with Maximum. And as you can see from the little video next to my picture, Metaport technology is a very visual, engaging type of a technology. And actually what we do is anything which has been built or constructed or man or God created, we can actually scan it and digitalize that entire environment. And you have then the ability to take measurements and use it to extract digital assets from it. So let's maybe go into the video. You may have seen part of it at the introduction. Let's maybe just
Meet
watch the video.
Matterport, the market-leading 3D platform that lets anyone turn a physical space into an immersive digital twin. Homes, offices, factories, shops, museums, schools, you name it. Scans are captured from any compatible camera, including the phone in your pocket. This recent innovation is only possible because of Matterport's huge data library. And behind it all is Cortex, our powerful AI and deep learning neural network that automatically stitches together images to construct dimensionally accurate 3D models. Once a digital twin is created, it can be customized with matter tags, labels, and guided tours, and easily shared with anyone on any device. They can virtually view, collaborate, and engage with 3D spaces. Thousands of companies in over 150 countries use Matterport and have realized unparalleled value. Millions of spaces of every kind have been captured, comprising billions of square feet and 3D data points, resulting in the largest spatial data library in the world. And it gets bigger every day, allowing customers across the property lifecycle to unlock unprecedented spatial data insights and analytics. Matterport has been digitizing the built world for a decade. Now, we're massively scaling towards achieving our mission of making every building and every space more valuable and accessible.
All right. I think for the video itself, you can actually see that Metaport technology comprises of a few elements, key elements. One is first you need to scan the space which you're in, and then you need to bring it into a digital format to then be able to use it. And the steps to do this, Alex will actually explain it later on in his presentation. But it's quite a immersive experience which is created through the Metaport technology. Now, the company itself is a Sunnyvale, California-based company founded in June 2011. So it's now 11 years old, or close to 11 years old, 12 years old now. It was listed on NASDAQ on the 23rd of July last year through a SPAC listing. Currently, we have over 500,000 customers, and it's still growing. There are over more than 7 million spaces under management. Now, a space can be considered the office where you're currently in, or maybe the home which you operate from, or the factory or the warehouse which you need to scan. These are all considered a space. So it can be very small or could be a very large space, varying from, let's say, 100 square meter or 100 square feet to up to 700,000 square feet, for instance. And our reach today is covering more than 170 countries across the globe, with over 28 countries in APAC. Now, the office in Singapore is actually our current headquarters for APAC. This was set up in 2019. So when we signed up Maximum in 2020, that's where we started to hire the first people in the company. Today, we have about close to 50 people across APAC, where majority of them are still based out of Singapore, which is the regional headquarters. But we now have people ranging from India, Greater China, Korea, Japan, South Korea, Australia, as well as Alex, based out of Singapore, covering the Southeast Asian markets. Yeah. Next. Now, this is a list of our 500,000 customers. We just want to highlight some of the well-known brands and names which you're probably familiar with. You find, for instance, in the retail industry, Gucci, Christian Dior, LV are some of the brands who are making use of our technology. And their ways to, in particular in the COVID-19 situation, it's to engage customers when they can't travel to their local retail outlets. They can still engage with their customers through a digital twin. and the ability potentially to incorporate e-commerce capabilities as well, to then still allow them to purchase their items within their retail store. And we also work with the large residential and commercial real estate companies, companies like ERA, Lim Brothers in Singapore, Propnex, CBRE, just to name a few, and facilities management companies like JLL, Cushman and Wakefield, to name a few. Now, within the travel and hospitality industry, companies like, for instance, Agoda out of Thailand started to become our customer to scan their facilities, because they realize that properties which are digitally scanned into a digital twin, the uptake is much higher, because you and I, as a person who wants to make use of those facilities, you now have the ability to view the entire space like you're physically there. And that immersive experience is what really helps to drive uptake and sale of those lodging. And that's also the same situation for companies like the Hyatt, the Marriott Group, IHG, Airbnb, and so forth. Now, within the facilities management organizations, companies like WeWork has been using Metaport for a while, Nike, Apple, Meta, or formerly Facebook, as well as H&M. And they use it both from a facilities management perspective when they start building new facilities to understand the different stages of the construction cycle. And then in case of H&M, they also use it for brand management, where they want to make sure that all the retail stores are conforming to the standards of the layout of the store. And it's much easier to do a quick scan than travel to every single location. So it really helps them to operationally be more productive. Next slide, please. So Metaport is the leading 3D digitalization and spatial data platform for any kind of built world. Now, built world not necessarily only means whatever is made by man, but we have also have done scans inside caves, grottos, and this type of environments, because it's also again another space, a built space, which can be digitalized as well. And it spans different industries. Residential real estate, commercial real estate is, of course, by far still the biggest markets who can see the immediate benefits from it. But it also can be deployed in other verticals, including retail, F&B, travel hospitality, logistics, warehousing, manufacturing, etc. And the common theme for all of the use cases is that it helps to decrease the operational expenditure. You can imagine if you have to travel from, let's say, from Manila to Cebu and back and forth, the cost of traveling, accommodation, etc., increases your cost. While if you have done the scan once, you can actually revisit that particular facility over and over again, and you can share it with multiple parties so that it becomes a productivity engagement, and at the same time, it's still very emotionally engaging to the space which has been digitalized. Next slide. Yeah, and with this introduction to Metaport, I would like now to hand it over to Alex. So as Alex indicated, he covers the Southeast Asian market. I think Maximum within the Philippines is our main distributor or reseller. So we're looking forward to the next part of the introduction to Metaport. Back to you, Alex.
Thank you, Johan. So everyone, so thanks for the comprehensive overview about what Metaport does and where we play in, right? So just to give you guys an so-called like an extension snapshot of what are some of the things that we can really offer to our clients, right? So for the audience, I understand that there's a majority of you who may not be familiar yet with the term digital twins, right? But do not let the digital word kind of like confuse you or scare you off, right? So basically what we actually do is that we actually take a physical space, right? And when we convert it into a digital twin, it just means to put it online, right? And then so the good thing about our solution, right, is that we can actually help to once you have captured the space, right, from any of the options that you can see from the left side, we can actually then create the digital twin, which is similar to what those in the AEC, architecture, engineering, and construction industry would typically refer to as the BIM files, right? the building information, the modeling files, right? Which is like the 3D model of a space, right? So what we actually do is that we make that process easier, right? Create it, and then in terms of once you've created it on our platform, you can then easily manage, our customers can then easily manage all these spaces, right? As what Johan was sharing earlier, which can be anything, any physical property or space or asset that you have captured into our platform, right? And then from there you can actually edit all the necessary, you know, like for example, you can do annotations with our meta tags to identify what the objects in the space or in the capture are. Like for example, it could be a piece of furniture or a junction box, for example, right? And then from there you can also collaborate in there. And then once you have completed editing the space, you can then actually share it, right, with your intended audience, right? Be it your internal colleagues who actually need to do it for facilities management, or even for training for new staff who might not be familiar with the layout of the office or the building, right, etc. Or even then to your end customers, right? So like those in the real estate vertical would typically share this to help their end customers who are the owners of the properties, right, to promote their spaces, right? Okay, so here is how the magic happens, all right? So basically, as you can see from the left side here, and I'll cover this a little bit more on the next slide for the capture devices. And also, so like for example, we can capture the BLK360, which is from Leica, the Pro 2, right? Insta360 or Ricoh, Theta cameras, and then also the smartphones on iOS and actually Android now. And then in terms of capturing via the apps that they're using on their mobile devices, right? It can be on a tablet, which is an iOS or Android tablet, or a phone too, right? And then alternatively, we actually do have our capture services, right? Like for example, some of you might be familiar that there are some people out there who might be service providers who helping customers capture spaces, etc. So this is what Metapod can do too, right? And the good thing about Matterport for our capture services is that we are not only limited to your local captures, but we can do regional or even a global scans for our customers, right? So it all just depends on your needs and requirements. And then, so once you have captured all these spaces and you've done all the scanning, right, it gets uploaded onto our platform. Okay, and this is where the Cortex vision pipeline in the middle here. So this is actually our deep learning AI and machine learning algorithm, right? So this is our secret sauce, yeah, where it gets uploaded, and then this is where our models get automatically populated, and it all gets created here. And as you can see in this relatively small snapshot here, right, is where our customers can preview the work that's been done and then do the necessary editing and updating. Yeah. Then from there, so pretty much, you know, it's about the outputs that you get, right? So from outputs that you can achieve from there. So this is actually augmented from our partner ecosystem, where, for example, we got platform partners who help us to kind of like develop features on top of the digital twin, right? Which is the base model. Okay, and then we from our platform itself also, we can also provide some stats and analytics. Yeah, excuse me for my background. Yeah. And then the good news for customers is that once you've uploaded the digital twin for spaces, right, your end targeted audience, right, can view your spaces as per normal on your mobile, on your web browsers, right? And also if they are using VR devices, right, like the Oculus or something like that, they can also view the spaces with Oculus. Yeah. So this is something that I would like to just do a quick highlight on. And then, so here is a snapshot of the different types of cameras that's supported right now. All right. And then, so basically, as you can see from the precision side is the BLK360, which is our highest end LiDAR solution, right? And then for our Pro 2 camera, which is the second one from the left here, right? So this is actually our really best in class for our solution, right? And the reason being, apart from it being a Metaport product, is because it's really the most valuable in terms of the price point and also for the capabilities that it does, because we can offer up to 99% dimensional accuracy of the spaces captured, right? So when I'm talking about dimensional accuracy, would be like the measurements made within the models, etc. And so this is where it toggles between the prosumers, right? The professional users and also the traditional retail consumers. Yeah. Then pretty much, if you want to go with on the fly, you can use your smartphones also. So just to do a quick sharing now, and that everybody, any customer in the world can register for a free account. All you just need to do is just download the Metapod Capture app on either the iOS, the Apple Store, or the Google Play Store, right? And then you can then register for a free account to scan one space, right, with your smartphone. All right. And so basically on our platform, we actually have a lot of features, and these are the top 8 features that a lot of our customers will be using across the world, no matter what industry or what vertical that you're in. So they will be using the things like the meta tags, right, to annotate the objects or the items in your spaces, right? That's what I was sharing earlier. And then of course you can also have the schematic 2D floor plans, right? If let's say that is something that you require. So these floor plans are automatically generated, right? With the captures from the models, right? So the accuracy will then depend on the capture device, right? So like for example, the as what I was saying for the accuracy, right? So our Pro camera will give you 99% accuracy for the dimensions for the measurements, and then also going on to the measurements part, right? So this is where our customers can go into the models to actually measure any aspect, right, of their spaces. So like for example, if they want to measure the length of a wall from end to end, right, they can also do that. Or even like for example, the length of a boardroom table, how long is it, or something like that, right? So these are all the measurements that can be done within the spaces. And then notes is actually meant more for collaboration, right? So like for example, if let's say you are doing a redesign or a reconstruction, a renovation of your existing office or your real estate, your factory or something like that, right? You can then easily collaborate with your, let's say, your electricians, your MEP professionals, right? Or even your facilities management folks, and even architects, right? To actually provide the comments and the updates that they would like to share, right? As the project is being progressed. Okay. Yep. Then for the Metapack files is where a lot of our professional AEC and let's say interior designers, etc., who love to use our stuff, because in the Metapack, our customers can actually get the .obj, which is the 3D mesh file, right? And also the .xyz, which is the point cloud file. All right. So from all these exports, you can then pump them into, let's say, Revit for Autodesk, right, for the point clouds, to actually build up your BIM files there. Yeah. So it kind of like speeds up the process and makes it easier for everyone. Yeah. Then last but not least is the guided tours and also the blur brush. So like for example, if let's say you might have captured something that might be sensitive, that you do not want to show to people when they're viewing your space, right, that you have uploaded, you can easily use the blur brush to blur out things. So like for example, be it a person who was unexpectedly caught in the scan, right? So so you can blur out the person's face, or if let's say you have captured an object that is not meant to be there, like a sensitive file or sensitive picture or something like that, you can use the blur brush to easily blur it out on our platform. Okay. And of course, then once you have completed those, you can then do your guided tours, right? Which is the virtual tours, as what a lot of people and customers are using it for. Okay, so with that, let me just do a quick video to share with you guys how it's done with our Pro camera. So pretty much the process is the same with any other camera. So they still have connect through the app, and then let me just run through the video and I'll just...
Matterport lets anyone turn any space into a digital twin. An accurate and immersive 3D model that can be shared, measured, and customized by you or a team. This is the Matterport Pro 2 camera, the gold standard for professional 3D capture. First, place the camera on a tripod. and press the on button in the back to turn your camera on. Use an iOS or Android device to take control of your camera. Go to Settings, Wi-Fi, and find your camera Wi-Fi. To start scanning, use the Matterport Capture app. Press the Scan button to take your first scan point. You can turn around the camera or hide in another room in order to not appear on the scan. The layout of the room you are scanning will appear on your tablet. Just continue scanning, one scan point at a time. Move the camera every 2 to 3 meters after each scan point until you have the whole floor plan on your tablet. On average, it takes 20 to 30 minutes to scan 100 meters squared, depending on the nature of the space. When you have finished scanning, simply click on Upload, and we will take it from there. Following your scan, we will create your digital twin, as well as HD photos, videos, and floor plans. From your Matterport account, you will be able to get the links to share your models, take extra pictures, download videos, add labels, add matter tags, an easy way to enrich the model with photos, videos, documents. Take measurements of the floor plan or anything inside the model. Matterport is revolutionizing the built world in multiple industries. To find out more, book a meeting, give us a call, or visit our website, www.matterport.com.
Right. So I hope that gives you an interesting insight as to how it's done with our solution. So as you can see, it's really quite fast, and pretty much, like for example, for a 3,000 square feet space, right? So it can all be done in less than an hour, right? And then once it's all captured and uploaded, so that's all that our customers will really need to do. So within that 1 hour, right, you are able to have a digital twin, a copy of your physical space, right? So this is how fast it is. So it really saves a lot of time and efforts as compared to doing it the traditional way, where you're building up your own manual models, right? Taking your own manual measurements and to draw the dimensions, right, in the shape. Yeah. Okay. And so this was the part that I was just about to share. So which is the Android app launch, right? So basically it was just launched, I think, around last year in Q4, around October or November last year, where we launched the Android app. So from then to now, it's been pretty exciting, where there's been lots of new features available, such as you are able to import images into the Android app to actually create your own so-called what do you call it, staged or recreated models. Yeah. And so in last month, in February, we actually announced a new product, which is called Metapod Access. So Metapod Access is actually like a smartphone motor mount, where our customers are able to kind of like achieve the same feel of how the Metapod camera rotates, right? So without having to manually pivot your own self to take a scan. So this is a device to help you with that, help our customers with that. Yeah. So pretty much this is something exciting that's coming, and then we will be having further updates as to when it will be available for us in Asia, right? Okay. And so pretty much the intent for the smartphone captures, right, is that it is actually able to be used across a wide case of use cases, all right, be it in the retail space, hospitality, real estate, construction, or even for, let's say, insurance claims purposes. Yeah. So like for example, with a smartphone, because it's pretty mobile and you can take it on a fly at anywhere. So if you want to have the capture mount, if you it's a pretty small bundle, which can be which is probably more portable than to lug the Pro 2 camera around. So this is why it's a very interesting product which offers more convenience to our end customers, right? So basically for our plans, we have our professional plans, our business plans, and then which are all readily subscribable directly by our customers on our website or via our partners links. So like for example, Maximum has their own link, which from time to time we have some promotional offers which they can share with you for the subscription plans, for annual plans. So if you can see from the left here, basically we will be looking at about the 25 spaces from with 5 users at 708 per annum, and then for the business class plans, yeah, so we've got about 125 spaces with about 50 users, and then for the custom enterprise plans, right, where for example any customer who has more than 300 spaces requirements, right, they are able to then reach out to us or even to our authorized resellers like Maximum in the Philippines, right, to actually get a better customized plans for them, right? So anything above 300 spaces, if you actually do have these requirements, feel free to reach out to the Maximum team, and we'll be happy to advise in terms of what are the additional benefits that you get. But one thing that I would like to highlight for our enterprise plans, right, our custom plans, is that customers will have a customer success team, which means that you have a dedicated support from Metapod, right? So this is the beauty about our enterprise plans, along with a lot of customization and a lot of like bundle volume packages. So like for example, the Metapack files. So you can actually pre-order bundles of Metapack files, which will lower the cost per unit, right? So it goes below $39 per Metapack, yeah, as you scale up for your requirements, yeah. So yeah, so I think in a nutshell, these were all the industries that we have highlighted so far, right? From the real estate to the AEC and the travel and hospitality, insurance and facilities management. So the key theme of these industries or customer verticals, right, is pretty much we are looking at really increasing the accuracy, the build accuracy and the speed, the efficiency, right? And also reducing the cost and allowing customers to promote their assets in a more creative way rather than using 2D pictures, right? And in today's world, I'm sure everyone has heard a lot about the metaverse, right? So right now, what I've noticed from my end is that there are a lot of companies out there who are trying to develop metaverses, right? So when I'm talking about metaverses, it's the digital world, right? So this is where there's a lot of interest right now in about how do they leverage off Matterport to actually take a digital twin of a real space to actually bring it into the metaverse, right? So this is something that's pretty hot in the market now globally. So this is something that I thought I will just like to bring up here for your reference, yeah. Okay, yeah. So yeah, so pretty much across the whole entire property life cycle, design, build, promote, operate, insure, and repair, a lot of our customers will really find a lot of value, and then across all the different verticals here: retail, real estate, travel, construction, hospitality, commercial real estate, industrial real estate, and even for corporate real estate. Yeah. So just to share a little bit more about Notes, about how Notes works here, right? So as what I was sharing earlier, so this is where you can actually collaborate with your colleagues or your business partners or the project mates, right? With the relevant comments, picture files or whatsoever in the notes, and then it's all tagged to the exact location of the particular object in question, right, within the model, yeah. And then for the blur brush, as what I was sharing earlier, you can easily blur out things that are sensitive, right, which you may not want to show to the end customers for whatever reasons. Yeah. Then this is also a very cool feature right now. So like for example, when you scan an entire project, right? So it depends on how many levels or how large the space is. Sometimes you may not want to present everything to everybody, right? So this is where an option is available in our platform now, where you can easily trim off and cut off the spaces which you do not want to present to, right? So it will be wiped off the model, right? So that you don't need to show the spaces that you do not want to show, yeah. And so this is the part where I was also sharing a little bit more on the platform or on the platform side of the solution, right? Where we actually do have our own APIs and SDKs, which allow our customers and our partners to actually develop on top of the models, right? So basically these APIs and SDKs, right, allow the authorized customers to actually access the models and then to kind of like develop custom applications on top of the digital twin that's hosted on Metapod. Right, so that's in a nutshell of what we do here. And then so this one is actually the example of like the IoT data stream or workflow of how it's being done, right? As you can see from the top here. So what it's doing is simulating, like for example, how is the pressure going, right, through the pipes, all right, and all this is kind of like integrated and can be integrated with IoT data, yeah. And then at the bottom here is where we are doing like a virtual staging, where some of our customers can so-called like superimpose objects onto an empty space, right? So like as you can see here on the bottom right hand side here is that it's actually an empty room, and then from there you like to place a table, a chair, a sofa, etc. Right? So this is what these are all possible with our APIs and SDKs. Yeah. And then for example here would be on the left side here would be actually like a more detailed meta tag. For example, they can actually expand out more information beyond just the typical text files, right? So, and then on the right hand side is where you can actually include some kind of gamification or like some quiz components within the spaces, right? And then from there you can actually engage with your audience, right? Be it an internal audience, be it for internal training purposes, or even for your engaging to your end customers. All right. So these are all possible with our APIs and SDKs. Okay, and yeah, then so pretty much, as what we were talking about in the early part for the Autodesk side. So basically, we have got some very deep integrations right now with Autodesk. And then if let's say you're also using Multivista or Procore, we do have our APIs or our software that's already available on their stores respectively, right? And then if you're using Revit 2022, the good news that I can share is that you can actually, once you have linked your Metapod account to your Revit 22 and then you install the Metapod plugin, right? Then you can actually do a direct to Revit, right? Upload of the digital twin via the Metapack that you have ordered on the Metapack model, the space, to import it directly into Revit, right? So it does that entire process for you end to end, without having to go through recap. All right, so that's just a interesting one to just share. And when it comes to our development partners or our platform partners, right, globally, we have a lot of different customers or rather partners who can help us to enable different functionalities and features. So like, for example, Stages is by SimLab, where they actually can do the different, show you the different, let me just run through it, show you the different states of the same space as they are undergoing construction, right? So when you're talking about Stages here, as you can see from the video that I'm playing here, is that it's showing you how the space is evolving as they're undergoing construction, right? How the layers are being added on top of each other, right? And then when we come to virtual staging, so basically, for now in Australia, we have a partner called Fourier or Capture 3D, right? Capture. So they actually have a very immersive experience platform already right now that's really available, where it's very easy to use, where you can both so-called use stock images that they have, right? Or you can upload your own GLB files to actually virtually stage any furniture or objects that you would like in the spaces. Yeah. So this is something that is already really available today from Fourier, our captured partner. Yeah, and they're based out of Australia. Yeah. And I believe the maximum team will have would be able to help you out with this if you require. Yeah. And so for another interesting one would be actually RemSense, which is actually based out of Perth, Australia too. So what they have done, right, is that they have actually done like a optical character recognition solution where, for example, they have done scans of a large plant, oil and gas plant, right? And then in their solution, they are able to do automatic asset tagging, like all the junction boxes and all the details which have the serial numbers located up on the exterior of the devices, right? So what you can do is that you can automatically populate those data, right, into a working file which the customer has, and then they can then actually link the IoT data feeds, right, into the digital twin. So this is something that's possible from RemSense as of today. Yeah, so these are just some of the other snapshots of what can be done. You know, like for example, for a FM or a security point of view, sometimes they would like to understand what is the actual security camera's field of view, right? FOV in short, right? So this kind of like gives them an idea of the coverage of each security camera, right? That's placed, as you can see from the model here on the left here. Yeah. And then on the right hand side is where, for example, if you are interested in doing a live feed, right? Let's say you are interested in doing a live news broadcast feeds, it can also be superimposed on the screens or within the models here. Yeah. So these are all possible as of today, yeah, with our partners. Yep. So yeah, so with all of these, right? So as you can see, right, what we're really doing, right, is we are really transforming the physical assets, right, the buildings into a digital world, which is the datafication of the current world, right? And then for tomorrow, I mean, like from the next couple of years, right? This is where we actually have a very exciting vision to actually digitalize and be able to actually provide more analytics and more inputs and value, right, for our end customers, right, as we innovate further with all these technologies and updates. Yeah. Yeah. So as what I was sharing with regards to the insights and analytics, right? So pretty much when we collaborate with our partners and our customers, etc., we are actually unlocking a lot more potential uses and features, you know, and then which can help address many needs of customers who are actually undergoing digital transformation, right, and who would like to replicate or rather to include the digital twins as part of their roadmap. Yeah. Okay, yeah, and then yeah, so pretty much from the FM side, for the property management angle, you know, like pretty much it's very interesting because you are able to then identify the locations of all your different so-called like devices, right? And then this is all possible today with Matterport, right? And our platform partners and also the API capabilities. All right.
So for this month of March, we actually have two bundles that we'd like to share to you. We're offering a pretty substantial discount for our Matterport bundle. I'm so sorry, wait, hold on. Let me share my screen to show you our bundle for this month of March. So for our first bundle, we get alongside the Matterport Pro 2 camera, you'll be getting a low pro Tahoe blend and a Manfrotto tripod for only 200 and 2,500 pesos. That's from our original price of 225. So this promo only runs from today, March 3, up to 31. So please, if you wish to take advantage of Matterport's technology, now is the best time to do it, because we'll be offering the 10% discount. Next, we also have, wait, hold on. And if you want to really be a Matterport Pro, we have a Pro Elite bundle where you get the previous bundle alongside an iPad 7th generation iPad. So this is an all-in-one package. You can, on the moment you get the bundle, you can set up and scan already. So you get all four of these for only 227,000 pesos. Again, the promo runs from March 3 to 31. So if you're looking into getting into Matterport, now is the time.